All right, for your mama by Eba Ghana Politics Event. Anna open all the trending political stories in the Ghanaian area. Unsa Ebe Kano. Nene story I did bring me a Kenufurata Homes and Semiana, the DB SL Tuamusri. A Jaffi say a breaking story about the detention in the United States detention facility of Virginia. Assumed my information with the Dina Bremo. Na ene on one of the most authoritative news platform, A News Far, I will join news. And Professor Ransford Gyampo, na enkane or ye penny University of Ghana, or political science, or ne Andrew Egyapa, a former member of parliament for second D. And Osaya NPP ni, and host Nanga Samu lawyer Samson Ladi Ayin. And I quit Mammy or Missy Wesi care on the day we was watching up just and some na Buja na I to we Canadian, now we are Canadian, now we are Canadian, and now Buja 101. Na we na Afino, Wabu Yuzu age request a buy and or the Mumian couldn't go video near the Samson Kai and heard the Professor Gyampo Kai and read a Japamesa Kai. Now one Casasa Ghanaian, while we will be answered, they decided. Why they can't correct? Why you trying to? Mengo heavy do number say about the trust be at Bemam.
I don't blame lawyers. And we all know that in high profile fugitive cases, the first strategy is medical. And with medical, it always sticks because the doctor will find something, regardless of how right or wrong you are. And depending on how high profile it is, then it goes on and on. Which is why I pity my two brothers, my elder brother and my friend Shremside, Mercer,
been honored by being asked to serve the citizen, of the land.
Trust.
Yes, if you get that opportunity, it is important that you approach the exercise of that opportunity with some trepidation. You serve and take note that do things in anticipation of what is likely to happen to you tomorrow when you are not in office. And so you are not looking at what is happening today. Be thinking about tomorrow when your government is not in power to be able to protect you. The man was being demonstrated against his own members of parliament. There were people within his own party who were asking that he be kicked out. But the powers that be protected him. But today, your party is not in power. And then they said, come and account. And I don't think that the authorities in Ghana now are that inhumane. I don't think that they would subject him to torture or they would do things that would violate his human life. He should just come.
So you are concerned.
Answer.
You are concerned that these heavy lawyers, including former Attorney General in the US, will call your Attorney General and say, guarantee us that he will not be mistreated.
I am very concerned about that because it was said here, there have been other people who have been held before the investigative committees. Who to me has gone there. And is he being killed?
Some have suffered onerous bail terms, even in custody for over a week, over a month.
Well, you are here, and then there are lawyers here. I know people who were presented with bail terms that the generality of the people felt that this was unreasonable. And we all spoke against that. And then they were varied.
That's right.
And so my point is that we are Ghanaians. We love ourselves. I don't think that anybody means harm. The most important thing is that if there's been something that is untoward that has been done, it ought to be investigated. And if people have to face the full course of the law, they must be made to face. Because one of the reasons why this government was overwhelmingly given the mandate to govern was for it to be able to confront some of these things. And already there are people who are showing signs of frustration that the government seemed to be slow in going about some of these activities. And so
the AG was explaining.
It is important that we make this point that, look, Mr. Ofori must be assured that he's only going to be asked to face the law. And like you rightly said, we don't seem to appreciate his case. He's not articulating his case. And so then you also give room for people to get certain speculations deep in their psyche. Maybe you have reasons for doing what you did. Come and explain. If it is right, I mean, the law will take its course. If it's not right, you suffer. I mean, I don't think this is a big deal. We are not happy seeing how he's being treated. Whether you like it or not, he's a Ghanaian. The fantasy say that see, if you are at loggerheads with your mother's son, okay, and he goes to fight, they carry him, they put him like wrestling. They dump him. I mean, you feel that. So we are not so happy about the way a Ghanaian is being treated.
Beyond the assurances that the AG has given to his lawyers in the US, Kofi Bentil has said that the public's mind has been so poisoned against him that he's not safe on the streets of Accra. What do you say?
Well, it is. See, what is perpetuating or what is festering that is his own decision to stay away. See, the more you stay away, the more the narrative goes a certain way that poisons, the public's mind. But the point is that if he decides to come, wouldn't he be given a police escort if we know, we can anticipate that some people may want to take the law into their own hands to be attacking him? I mean, I'm sure that President Mahama's government is that humane and that concerning and considerate that he would only want him to come and answer questions. If you answer the questions and you answer them well, you go. But if you are not able to answer them well and there are prescriptions as to how you should be handled, then the law takes its course. Right. And so he should come and open his defense, and so that we can be able to cut him off from all these acts of humiliation. I'm not happy about it.
There are Ghanaians living in the US. Yeah. So that fear still extends there, isn't it?
Yes.
There are Ghanaians living
in the US.
Yes.
And so the continued perception that he's running away is what is not fueling all these things.
Let me now get to Egyapa Mercer, and starting on a rather light note. Have you heard the joke in town whether the minority will gather in front of the ICE facility like they do at Yoko to protest?
I'm not sure they
protest the detention.
We'll get a visa for you to go and do
But let me say good morning to all of you, to our cherished viewers and listeners, and to take the opportunity to wish everybody a happy new year, a prosperous one at that. See, Samson, the AG has done us all a lot of disservice, in that he comes to put up a statement that contradicts what the lawyers of Honorable Ken Ofori Atta have put out earlier, without giving us any basis to support the assertion that he makes.
He gave the basis.
He didn't. And let's not confuse the two. Okay, because there are two issues here. The conversation that he had with the lawyers of Honorable Ken Ofori Atta relates to the extradition matter. This particular one that he says his visa has been revoked relates to some so-called investigation that he says he's conducted. He didn't give us any basis. He didn't tell us why the visa has been revoked. And following from the comments that have been made around the table, makes me wonder even the more. If a man's visa has been revoked, and there's nothing for him to seek an extension on, why is the AG the same person telling us that Mr. Ken Ofori Atta is going to court on the 20th of January? Appearing before the district court. To do what?
Because he has been arrested and detained.
Yeah, but his visa has been revoked, so he has no basis to stay in the United States.
Once you're detained,
people have been deported. Why is Mr. Ofori Atta going through court processes?
an order
Why?
to do the deportation.
Which order?
That's how it works.
The man
Say that again.
You need an order from the court to be able to
Do the deportation.
Exactly.
Okay. So that's your answer to him.
Yeah.
Okay.
The man has no basis to be in the United States. His visa has been revoked.
Right.
According to the Attorney General.
Correct.
His lawyers are saying that, look, yes, he was given a certain time frame to stay in the United States. He has applied for an extension. ICE have arrested him. That then makes sense to me why he will go to court to then apply for an extension of his visa if the court grants it or be sent back to Ghana. But if his visa has been revoked like we are being told by the Attorney General, why is he going to court again?
That's why
what?
Vicky is saying
Please.
that they need a court order to deport. So if they have to deport him, they have to go to court first.
Why? When your visa has been revoked? On foreign soil. Show me the process. I don't have a problem.
Okay.
Show me the process. We all watch. I don't live in the United States, and I cannot claim to be knowledgeable in US law. But we watch CNN. We saw the people who were picked off the street and sent to Guatemala and all those places. By ICE. Please. When you were speaking, I was sitting right here.
Allow Gyampo
quietly.
Yeah.
Sorry.
With respect.
Sorry. Carry on. Sorry.
Please.
Boo.
You see,
He's right, though.
this whole public perception, public prosecution is what is informing potentially, and I don't speak for Mr. Ofori, his decision to remain outside the jurisdiction. Because listen, a lot of talk has been made. And I hear my good friend, Prof, make the point that if you've held public office, you ought to be able to avail yourself an account. You ought to be able to avail yourself and answer questions. Samson, you and I are lawyers. What law compels an accused person to even cooperate with an investigator who is investigating him? What law? What rule requires Mr. Ofori? Are you going to please allow me to speak? What law requires him to even be present for anything? The burden in all of this rests with the Attorney General to prosecute and lead evidence to prove beyond all reasonable doubt that the man has a case to answer. If at that point he elects not to defend himself, the court can proceed to convict him. But we made it look as if to say he is under some obligation to be in Ghana to assist the investigators investigating before they take him to court. How is that even plausible? We said all manner of things. Look, I'm for accountability. I've served in public office. A lot of accusations were leveled against me myself as a person. In fact, transactions that the government of Ghana was making that bore my name coincidentally. I was accused to be the owner of that transaction. I served as director for a company called TG Energy Solutions, which then subsequently went into a consortium with other people, won a transaction with the government of Ghana, and incorporated a company which has its own directors and secretary. My name was associated with it because I was in the public space. I'm here. But the fact that those accusations have been made, do they constitute offenses or guilt in themselves? Why are we doing this?
There's a bit of a difference, though. The state has not investigated and preferred charges. In this case, the state has investigated and preferred charges, at least on the part of the OSP.
I don't have a problem.
And the Attorney General is saying that one is even,
Is he under any obligation to appear before the court? I want to know from you. Is Ken Ofori or any accused person for that matter under any obligation in law when he's charged to appear?
What do you prefer?
Certainly not.
What do you prefer?
No, it would be ideal. I don't have a problem. It would be ideal if he's minded. But if he feels that there's sufficient enough documentary evidence which exculpates him and that his presence to give evidence in his defense or not is immaterial, go ahead and prosecute the man.
Do you think that's what he's doing?
I don't know. Okay. Like I said, I'm not his lawyer. I don't speak for him. But I sit back and I observe the kind of public commentary, the kinds of things that people are saying, even people on this platform, essentially making it look as if to say, oh, well, you've served in public office and you're supposed to account. Please, let's not do this to ourselves. Because it's important.
What is unfair about that? That you have served in public office.
You
are needed to account. Make yourself available.
Needed to account.
Make yourself available.
Wait.
Why do you want it to be elevated to charges in court before you show up?
Samson, needed to account for what? For what? Show me the law that says that when you serve in public office, when you finish, you have to account. No, please, let me make my point. With all seriousness, the Attorney General and the state investigative agencies have accused him of committing a crime. True or false?
True.
I've served in public office. Nobody has accused me of committing any crime. You've accused a man. You say he should come. To do what? If you have your proof, the law is clear. Go to court, establish a prima facie case, lead your evidence. If he is minded to come and cross-examine your witnesses, let him do so. If he's not minded to do it, go ahead with your case.
I've led a couple of.
But that's exactly what the law says.
I've led a couple of former government officials to law enforcement agencies, and by the time they are leaving the place, the law enforcement agency says, "I thought it's okay. As for you,
Samson,
go.
I agree.
Because of your cooperation and the evidences you have shown me.
I agree.
Go. There's no problem with you.
No problem.
Is that not how it is done?
I don't have a difficulty. But I'm saying, if he elects not to do that, what law has he breached? I've gone to the state investigative agencies as counsel.
Correct.
For members of the previous administration who have been accused.
You have said it here on this table.
Yes. If Mr. Ofori elects that, look, with all the public brouhaha that is going on, I do not want to subject myself to this process. If they think they have evidence against me, let them go ahead and obtain their conviction in court. What crime has he committed with that decision? So why would we vilify him? Why?
Do you think it is?
I just can't get it.
Do you think
and
it is
make the public believe?
Do you think it's
that
a
the man is running away to where?
Do you think it is a standard conduct expected of citizens? I won't say patriotic. Expected of citizens that when they are being sought after by law enforcement, they should say, "I'm not coming."
No, you can even go. You can attend and not speak. True or false?
Sure.
So if he comes and goes to Yoko or whatever, special prosecutor, and goes to sit there and fold his arms, they ask him questions, I won't answer. Can anybody compel him to answer?
We have gone beyond this argument.
So what's with the public persecution? What's with the public vilification? What's with the public trial and conviction?
Because he was former finance minister,
no, you see,
supervised over our public pairs.
I don't have a problem.
Under his regime,
I don't have a
under his tenure, this country got into difficult situations, got ranked by credit ratings, junk status. That's serious. People's pensions have been taken away from them.
That was serious.
Right.
That was it. People's pension taken away from them was serious. But Ghana being ranked as a junk status was not. Because there were reasons why we got there. It's part of the issues that we will discuss. There were reasons. We had issues with our energy sector that we had to borrow to pay. It was money we didn't have. We had to borrow to deal with that. We had a banking sector crisis that we needed to borrow to pay. It was not money we had sitting there. We borrowed to deal with that. COVID comes. Yes, we got grants, but we borrowed money too to protect the people of Ghana. Your finances went into a certain situation. You needed to restructure it.
There were decisions.
What was wrong?
There were decisions taken by those who are the helm.
I agree, and I'm proud of those decisions. Because if Mr. Akuffo, president, had taken a decision that the life of Ghanaians was unimportant to him, and so if you can survive COVID, survive. If you cannot, die. What would have been our response?
Okay, before we go into a different discussion.
Please. I don't have any difficulty with all the people who are saying, because the matter of fact, that Mr. Ofori served as finance minister for 7 years, no doubt, it was a high-level office. But I'm saying that his decision not to lend himself to any investigation, it's not a crime. If the Attorney General has evidence of the allegations that have been leveled against him, the law is clear. Go to court. Prove it.
Vicky is a citizen.
I'm coming, please.
Vicky is
let me conclude.
Vicky is unhappy, just like some other Ghanaians.
I don't have a difficulty.
That somebody who has served at that highest level in this country is now being treated like a common criminal.
Of course.
In the US, they are not happy about it.
Of course. I'm not sure Mr. Ofori himself would have wished this to befall him. I'm only saying,
which he could have avoided.
No, I don't have a difficulty. I don't have a difficulty at all. But I don't want it to be said that his decision not to appear before any investigative body,
you have moved on from there.
Rather focus on his health and allow the due processes of law to proceed without him.
But they froze
it's
it.
not wrongful.
Did they freeze it?
Okay.
It's her own personal view about how this decision that he took. And of course, every decision that people take will have their own consequences. Okay? If he fails to appear and the state proffers evidence against him and is convicted, there will be consequences. If he chooses to stay in the US and not appear, also, that's the consequences that it faces.
All right, thank you.
But I want us to disagree. Very well.
Thank you.
Thank you. Just don't do that.
Very briefly,
Thank you. Egyapa, I think that, you see, there are certain ideas that must not be espoused publicly in a democracy by people who would also want to serve the people. We're talking about accountability being the cardinal principle that defines every democratic, setup. And so I'm not comfortable for the insinuation you are casting that creates an impression that Ofori can go scot-free without being accountable. Okay, you are quoting laws, but you see, the law, I'm told, is more 70% common sense. Okay, and so the point is, it is unfair. It is, you don't look good in the sight of the people that tomorrow you go to ask that they give you mandate to govern. When you sound publicly that if the man doesn't want to come, who cares? He shouldn't be accountable and all. I don't think it is fair. And it's important we put this out there, that all that we are asking for is for Mr. Ofori. Please.
If you finish, I'll have to deal with this.
One second. So all that we are asking is for Mr. Ofori to be accountable. And nothing. There should be no legalism quoted to sort of shield him from this accountability in a manner that you are seeking to espouse. I think it doesn't make you look good as somebody who wants to
if you're going to hold public office, you have to be prepared to account. Because you are not doing that for your own.
There's no argument that counters this.
I don't keep saying law does not say. Law says. Where will society be?
Where will society be?
In any case,
Prof. Gyampo and I. Where will be common sense?
Prof. Gyampo and I here, by our rules today, are PEPs. And by PEP, I'm referring to politically exposed persons. Now, that has curtailed certain things we can engage with or not. But most law says that. On even national level. And even post-office, when we leave office, we still have 5 years to clear that status of being a PEP. And there are reasons. In any case, we ask ourselves, why are there extradition treaties? Why are there extradition laws? If nobody needs to come home and answer.
Yeah, I want to make a point.
Why are they not?
Something about this. About the judge, the appearance and court appearance and all that quickly. Okay, it says, I just did a search. A revoked visa makes a non-citizen subject to removal. So that's the status right now. Subject to removal, meaning they violated immigration law, but does not automatically deport them. ICE starts a case by filing the notice with the immigration courts, and that begins the removal process. And then an immigration judge holds hearings to decide if the person should be deported or has a way to stay. And it's only after a judge issues a final removal order that ICE can proceed with the physical deportation within a set time frame.
A number of people, including those, some in the US, have been sending me this point to confirm that what you said earlier was right. That even upon revocation, there's the need for an order of a judge to be able to deport him if that is the intention. A process could include an appeal that may lead to you not being deported. So thank you, Mr. Duboaheng. Thank you, Mr. Mark. Boafo, all of you in the US and also in Ghana, all of you doing research for me. Thank you.
It seems to me that we are being taken completely out of context. I'm not saying that people who hold public office should not be held accountable when they leave office. That's not what I'm saying. The processes of accountability is outlined in law. It's not people's feeling or thoughts. Okay? And I'm saying that every year, in fact, Public Accounts Committee, Auditor General, and all the things that they do, the accountability institutions are all there to help in the rendering of the accountability. If people commit crimes, which is what Mr. Ofori is being accused of.
Of course, the Busunia Damasi, some of the number that see, you see them Ghana Politics Avenue. Don't forget to hit on the subscribe button, Uria, notification bell, or another Unsabosu. Say, Beya, the video of Rubia, Burma, Musabeka, Mbeka, can you for that video, Burma subsequently. The story be a better we keep on updating you people. So click on the notification bell so that you get subsequent videos from us. Now after so video we create when you want you like and share for others to get also. The moon must some other brand that say a higher Ghana positive and you mummy now fish up offices in the night in Kwemo. The Akroma, the must some other brand. Bye bye.